It is late in the Second Era, a time of war, as the empire of Tiber Septim sweeps through the kingdoms of Tamriel in a glorious bid for conquest. Septim is opposed on all sides, but never more fiercely than by Hammerfell, the ancestral home of the Redguards. The High King of Hammerfell, Iszara II, resists the Imperial invasions even as he sees other kingdoms crumble, until at last, without warning and surprisingly devoid of court treachery, death takes its full measure. With its High King dead, Hammerfell is crippled, plunging into a bloody civil war between the crowns, fighting for their homeland's continued sovereignty, and the Forebears, who have finally accepted the Emperor's rule. The crowns, led by the heir to Facade, Prince Ator, are continually victorious, spilling the blood of the Forebears across Hammerfell's sands. From his seat of power in the port city of Stros M'Kai, Prince Ator slowly reunites his father's unraveled kingdom. Feeling their impending defeat, the Forebears sign a pact with the Emperor, allowing him to bring his armies in, crush the crowns, and rule Hammerfell as his own. Tiber Septim's armies prove too much for the proud Redguard crowns. Tiber Septim sends his best commander, Lord Richton, to Stros M'Kai to close the grip on Prince Ator and the crowns. The prince rallies his forces for one last stand. Knowing that Hammerfell's sovereignty is at stake, the crown forces match the might of the Empire, meeting them in the harbor of Stros M'Kai for the final battle. The fighting is fierce. Lord Richton, having seen the prince's victories at sea before, decides to bring his last resource to the fore. The dragon, Nafaalilargus, proud jewel of the Imperial crown. Ator commands his archers to ready their weapons, but is struck down himself by Richton's assassin, felled by an arrow whose poison spreads too fast. Ator's wizard attempts to save the prince, but the dragon ends his magic and the crown's hope for victory in a single fiery breath. Having conquered the crowns, the Emperor's forces claim rule over all of Hammerfell. Imperial garrisons are stationed at every city, and Richton himself is named provisional governor of Stros M'Kai. Months pass. The Redguards of Hammerfell, both Crown and Forebear, learn to live under the new Imperial rule, and Tiber Septim extends his reach into the rest of Tamriel. It is only through fate that any of this will come to concern our hero, Cyrus, a Redguard who long ago left Hammerfell to wander the borderlands of the Empire.
Krymie, Cyrus, eto forwakecher okodor.
Let's make this short, Sarathra. I've got work to do.
Sichu.
I leave with Duardine's men in an hour.
Renrigi intnor. Oko o Imperial ja. Iko pofam rotot velk.
You should know you got me the job.
Tragir. Sratra kol kotero to Hammerfell. Boshe in rot.
The seal is broken.
Sratra warregat.
Yeah, I bet you were.
Nuko Duadin. Sratra X. Sratra X Kyle.
Iszara.
Rolita dek kaudor.
I need a ship.
To board the koi Sratra Nakovik Warabarashi.
Money, too.
Sri Duadin ja. Epako ja. Srik. Pur Sratra kadoeliter beko.
We haven't spoken in 10 years. There was trouble.
Kakatar.
I killed her husband.
Hammerfell's prodigal son, Cyrus, returns to the province of his birth. He buys passage to the island of Stros M'Kai in the hopes of rescuing his sister, Iszara.
is what the pilot said to the wet-eared maids before him.
The Restless League is claiming this cargo,
said the other with cruel clarity.
Probably wouldn't make a difference if I told you I had no time for this.
This is about Redguard armor, boy. Stand aside.
Yes, a doubtful notion it is. Piracy and politics. But there you have it.
Never been much for politics. In my day, piracy was honest work.
Don't be a hero, boy.
Where's the money in that?
And yea, verily, by his bravery they were impressed for a scant few seconds.
How remarkable. I may well be the first Imperial Admiral to surrender at this altitude.
No surrender, Governor. You just die on your feet.
The rules of engagement state quite clearly that a losing party may yield to his opponent on the field of battle, and that the victor may, within honorable reason, determine his ransom.
Remind me in hell.
But where's the money in that? Or Redguard honor? I know a swordsman like you, Redguard, can't kill an unarmed man. And as a gentleman, I place myself under your protection. And as a swordsman of no little accomplishment, I congratulate you on your mastery of the longsword. And I congratulate you also on your small victory here. I have failed my emperor, and may regret surviving to face his displeasure, but... drop the weapon.
What were those rules of engagement again?
I'm sorry, Redguard. The rules of engagement govern the affairs of gentlemen. But you, a rebel in arms, a traitor to the Emperor, and a threat to the Emperor's peace, all you have earned is summary execution. You die now, Redguard.
Do it then, because that'll be the easy part. But look down there, Richton. Now there's an army that's tasted victory, and one you'll never defeat again.
No more words.
Richton, it's time you saw that Redguard fire you've heard so much about. You never did kill the Prince, Richton. He lives.
The old quarter should be restored in time for the celebrations, my lady.
Make sure Captain Basil has all the men he needs.
You know I have to leave soon.
Can't you at least stay for the celebrations? They are because of you, after all. Baron Volod came out of hiding to retake Sentinel after he heard of our own uprising. Both he and the Emperor are coming here to work out the treaties.
The Emperor's coming here?
We've had 2 bloody wars in as many years, Cyrus. And a court must be struck with the Empire. But at least now we will be respected allies if all goes well, instead of exploited subjects. Atur, guide me in this.
I've never been much for politics.
I forgive you anyway. I can do no less.